Welcome to another YouTube channel edition of social marketing ideas from socialmarketing.brightoncode.com. Coming at you from a very, very cold day in Colorado. Man, it was cold the last few days. Luckily, I was inside mostly editing and working on some YouTube videos, some ideas, and on the blog. So now we're at a point where we're starting to get into a few more fine niches, and it's hard to kind of know completely where and how some of these items would be able to help everybody. And if you try to go too broad, you can't. But that's exactly one item with these social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All these things were put out there for a purpose, for people to come to that site and to communicate with others. That was it. That was the whole plan. And then from there, they realized that, you know what, we could stick some ads on here because we got these people coming, and some people are staying 20 minutes, some people are staying 5 hours. So let's use that to our advantage. And then from that, another tier below that was big marketers coming along and buying up ad space. And then there's everybody else that uses it. Now, how do we use it as a form of communication instead of just advertising, marketing? Those terms are fantastic, but they are used in a business world. And in some cases, we are involved in the business world. But in this case, this is the social world. And we all know, whether you like him or not, we have a new president that is absolutely driving media outlets, news stations, completely nuts with his tweets, with his communication forms, how he talks to the general public without going through them, without making deals with them, and it works in his favor. It drives them nuts, and it gets the message out the way he wants it, and it frames things the way he wants it. And with that, it opened up a whole new can of worms for everybody to say, you know what, the way we've been doing this and how we've been talking about it might not be connected. So let's try to find some new ways. And with that, that's where we came up with social marketing at Brighton Code. We are programmers, programming front-end development, JavaScript, Node, but at the same time, we have businesses that we are working for, and they're using and spending money on using these items, and sometimes they're doing it to a good effect, sometimes they're not. And if you are just as effective of picking up your tablet or picking up your cell phone and typing in a quick Twitter and sending it out, why not? It's free. You've already got the account. All you have to do is get the people to come to it. And that, we've already seen how to do that. Anybody and everybody who has a Twitter account, has an Instagram account, has a Facebook account, already has found ways to connect with people, connect with who they're involved with, without trying to make them customers to buy stuff, just by getting them connected and becoming friends and following. It's not easy, but it's not too difficult. So you already are marketing, whether you realize it or not. Now, our focus for today is, after we've rambled for a minute or two, is about using messaging from Facebook Messenger, the one that goes bing, and you hear it all the time, and everybody looks at their phone lately and goes, what was that? Now, this one you have to be really strategic with. You don't want to overdo it, because you don't want people's phones going bing all the time. And there are a lot of times that it does go off, and people will end up cutting that person off that uses that as a major communication outlet. And you know, unless it's your wife or your girlfriend or your husband, or your significant other, or one of your kids that's away at college, and that's the only way you can get them to talk to you. Or it's your mom, and it's your mom, so you gotta let her do it because she figured out how to do it. You know, it's something that customers would go, oh no, we're not doing that. But what an amazing way to get people to come to your store for special events, special days that are not very beneficial or active to you financially. What a great way to get those people in And so that way you can start selling to them, get them to your website, get them to your store, get them on your discount list. And it's a way that they can be on there for those special purposes, and you can use it for whenever you need to. You can use it in the middle of summer. You could use it near Christmas to remind people that, you don't have to just go to the big box stores to find what you need. We've got some ideas for presents too. Really wonderful, wonderful technique that you can use with it. Send out quick information, send out a quick video, do a live stream of your employees doing something. Maybe you're off at your kid's school and it's a special day and you just film part of it and you upload it just so your customers can see you being family oriented. Maybe there's something at your church that's happening. Maybe one of your relatives came back from Afghanistan or came back from Iraq and you're filming it. That is amazing footage that you can get a hold of, and man, it'll go live real fast and your customers will be right there. And you can actually get more people in on your information. So try using it. Try using messaging. All you have to do is get people to go to your Facebook page and follow you, and then from there you can hook them up with Facebook, with Messenger from your Facebook. Now you might have a couple people that you just know, I'm going to ask you to be involved with this, and they're not going to, or they will, and they'll be gone in a couple of months. A lot of people have done that with Messenger. They got on it because everybody was on it and wanted to see what it was all about. Then they quit doing it for a while, and then they kind of came back because if that's how people are talking, that's what they're going to use. Just like back in the early 1900s, a lot of neighbors had a phone and it rang every once in a while and they were paying for it. Then they probably stopped paying for it because they thought, this is annoying, I don't need this. And then after a while they realized that they can get a hold of their neighbor, they can get a hold of their work, they can be gotten a hold of much easier than they could by driving down the road in the snow or getting on their horse and going. Much easier way to communicate with people. So that's just an idea, using Messenger. Remember, you got that bing though, when that big bing goes off and all that stuff, and it is instant where people can get right back on and tell you things that you might not want to hear. And one of the best lines I ever heard when I was back before Montgomery Ward's closed was a salesman that tried to sell me some furniture. He said, "Do you need a couch and love seat?" And I said, "I don't have room in my 1-bedroom apartment." He looked at me and said, "Because you don't have room is exactly why you need a couch and love seat." And then he went on to talk about some endless loop of why I needed to buy these two. Well, you know what? I ended up almost buying those two because of him saying why you have a small space is exactly why you need to do that. So just by getting information back from your customers, if they say, I don't want, this doesn't work for me, just give them the line, well, this is exactly why you need that, because of this, and you just turn it around with them. Unless they're gonna know you're just full of it and you're just trying to get them to get on Messenger so that you can send them out stuff. But there's a little story behind everything, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for ways that you could use it. How could different businesses have that? Well, I always like to use like a taxi service or an Uber. Well, if your people are on there, you can go, bing, I'm out today and I'm giving, if you're drunk and you need a ride, it's Saturday night, I'll give you no tip included. You can just message me and pick me up. And I'll come pick you up, and you don't have to record it with Uber, or and just you can get your own clientele that way, and just you never know how much they're going to hand you the money. But anyway, might probably cut that part out. But it's use Messenger, give it a try, have it separate on a different spot so you can understand who's who in there, and you can set up small little groups. So you've got this group for work, you've got this group for employees, this group for your family, your mom's on her own, so that way you can hear it go ding, and oh, that's got to be my mom. It's just got that odd sound to it. It's just a little different than every other ding, and your radar goes off in your brain. But give it a try, see how it works for you. Don't give up on it. You don't have to pound it into your customers because it's free. It's not like you have a limited time of, hey, I've got this right now, this advertisement's going out, you need to be listening to the radio, or this magazine's going out with my ad, and once it's off the shelf, it's off the shelf. This just keeps circling back around. So just keep that in mind, and good luck, and hopefully your marketing goes well.